about how they gonna tax the 30,000 people making $30,000 and less. How they gonna tax them?
More.
Y'all are going your mouth dropping. I did a stitch on it on TikTok.
I
It's
gotta check it.
crazy. Look at
Yeah,
it. It's
they're wrong.
crazy, y'all.
And you got these young adults coming out here saying, you know what? What about me? Y'all are putting me in a bad position.
All it is for the young people. Cause look, think about it. We Gen X. We just into making our money in life. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Kids coming out of school, they not about to willing to pay these kids no $100,000 a year. They
No.
gonna start them at the low wages, and then they gonna tax the crap out of them, and they
Yeah.
ain't gonna be able to afford housing. They ain't
Nothing.
gonna be able to afford nothing.
Food, nothing. Car notes, nothing. So they'll still be living with their
Nothing.
parents. And
Exactly.
there's nothing wrong with living with your parents, but some young adults want to get out here and make it on their own. And you're
You
not
want to
giving
be
the
independent,
opportunity.
right?
Oh, I'm so sick
It's
of them.
crazy business.
But
Hey, Melba, we see you, boo.
let's go ahead and take a quick commercial break and we'll come right
Okay.
back. You're
All
listening
right.
to Our Plugs, the Community Connection on WKRA 92.7 The Change. We'll be right back after this quick commercial break.
Welcome to Morningstar Boutique, where the sun is shining and the style is all about you, your beauty, confidence, and individuality. Whether that's your perfect summer dress, a chic jumpsuit, or outfit you didn't know you needed, we've got you. Stop by ourplugs.com and check us out. We'll see you soon.
Opa May Simplistic Beauty is hair care and skincare in a bottle. Take a quick survey and let us design your own formula. Go to ourplugs.com, look for Opa May Simplistic Beauty, and we can get your formula out to you as soon as possible. We hope to hear from you soon. Have a great day.
Welcome to a world that sparkles. Sparkle Cakes LLC is your one-stop shop for a wide variety of customized items. So bling out your Crocs. Customize that cutting board. Get you custom dominoes. Stop by and we will customize your order today. We can be found on Etsy and Our Plugs LLC. I'll be waiting to customize your order. All you need to do is place it.
Hi, I'm Tori G, owner and founder of Say Something Tees, a statement t-shirt company. I got into this business by mistake, but the mission was no accident. Hi, I'm Tori G, owner and founder of Say Something Tees, a statement t-shirt company. I got into
Difficulty. That's fine. That's fine. I'm going to play it one more time so everybody can hear Say Something Tease. Just 1 second, folks.
www.saysomething.biz and let's say something together.
And we are back. You are listening to Our Plugs, the Community Connection on WKRA 92.7 The Change. All those commercials, those companies that you just listened to can be found on ourplugs.com. Go check us out. Go check out our entrepreneurs who have their businesses out there and support the community. Please and thank you. That's ourplugs.com. So, I believe we were still talking about current events, hot news you can use, because we still got a lot of hot news to talk about. Go ahead, sis. You're on mute, sweetheart. You are on mute. You are on mute. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm gonna go over one more good article,
Good.
and then it's a couple things. We're gonna bring our guests up in a few because it's some stuff I want to get some input from our guests on. But so this is some good news. I'm just going to read it. We have a Black-owned eyewear brand that's going to launch in almost 100 Sam's Club locations. I'm proud of the sisters. I wish they would have chose Costco, but maybe it just, I don't know what the workout was, but I'm proud of them. It's some sisters.
Yes,
and
I'm
they
proud
launching
of
their eyeglass business. Now, you know I love frames.
Yes.
We love frames, both of us.
Maybe we need to go ahead and send them a message so they can put their business in
yes.
Well,
it's called
walking into Sam's Club.
It's going to be called Bontelli's Eyewear, and it's a Black woman-owned luxury eyewear brand known for its cultural inspired designs and inclusive fits. They'll launch in 80 selected Sam's Club locations, and the brand signature collection of prescription-ready and fashion-forward frames will be available at participating Sam's Club optical centers. So It's in
Congratulations,
the optical
ladies.
center.
Yes.
People do still go to Sam's Club for their optical, so I
And that's
think it's good.
different. Yeah, that's different. Just like if you have to go get your medicines from the pharmacy, you have to do what you have to do. And I am happy for those young ladies. I again, I think we want to reach out to them and see if they can also drop their eyewear in our plugs because we still have space for everyone. We still have space for eyewear, footwear, any kind of wear, and as well
Exactly.
as you know,
When
you
it's my people doing stuff, I'm always gonna celebrate them because that's what we need to do more of. Especially my sisters. Like I'm all for for us and our growth and our independence and what we
absolutely.
doing and making moves. I'm a move maker. You a move maker, so we believe in this. So that's why I'm like, it's Sam's, but I'm still gonna support. I'm gonna go
Yeah,
check
so
them out. If they
absolutely.
come in Houston, then I might have to roll in there and see what they got.
They what they check, what they're going with because I do. I wear glasses. I can't
I
see
do
without
too.
them. Blind
And
is bad.
I like unique frames. So
Yeah.
hey,
And congratulations to those young.
yeah,
We always want to encourage any and everyone to get out there and make your mark.
yes. But
Yes.
let's go ahead and bring our guest up, Kitty. I'm gonna go
Go right
ahead.
ahead. Let's
I'm gonna bring
introduce our
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 guest up
guest up.
to
His
the
name
stage.
is Hey,
Welcome.
welcome, welcome.
How you doing? So today we have Anthony, aka Itchy Banks. He is one of our TikTok friends.
Yes, he's a friend off of TikTok.
We all met, all of us met off of TikTok, y'all, and we have been in I want to say, the battle of our lives on TikTok.
Truly.
Yeah, it's been a crazy last year and a half or two, and
Yeah.
Itchy is one of the ones that is on there. He's boisterous. He knows what he's talking about. He is informing the people, and we just feel like, hey, let's bring him on the show because there's people out here in our radio land. We know everybody don't have TikTok, and a lot of people are missing some. Can you hear us? We can't hear you, Itchy.
Yeah, we can't hear you, Itchy.
Yeah,
Go ahead and turn your
make sure
you
you're
might want
okay.
to take your earbuds out.
Yeah,
But
but we just want to make sure people are
I just
informed.
lost signal for some reason.
Okay, there you go.
yeah,
We hear you good now.
we hear you
We
real
want to
clear.
Sorry
make
about that.
that's okay.
Try to
We
do
just
this
want to
over
make sure
again.
people are informed.
Let's see if we can get reconnected.
Are you
Y'all
lagging?
ladies hear me?
Yeah, he's lagging.
Nah, I
He's
can
lag.
hear you. Am I lagging bad?
No, why don't you drop and come back? Well, let's
I'm gonna drop
drop
you down and bring you back up.
and then bring him back up.
Okay, that'll be fine.
It's kind of like TikTok. Sometimes TikTok
Gotta redo.
we have to get off stage and come back on. TikTok takes
Is
away
that
my
better?
filters. Oh yeah, you're good now. Can you hear
Okay.
us okay?
Okay. I can hear y'all fine. It might be where I'm at. Maybe I need to cut my Wi-Fi off. Let's see if that works.
No, you're good. You're good. You're not lagging at all. Up now you're frozen. Frozen.
Click your
Uh,
Wi-Fi on.
you leave your Wi-Fi on
Yeah,
because it
I
click your
seems
think it
like
might
Wi-Fi
have
you.
on.
been. I think it might have been the Wi-Fi, to be honest.
Yeah,
Okay.
you
All
good
right.
now.
We're
Okay.
good to go.
Well,
So
welcome to the show, Itchy.
yes,
How's
welcome
everybody
in.
doing?
Doing okay. Doing okay. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us.
No,
It's always nice
thank
to
you
hear
for
your
having me.
voice. Yes, and it's you always come with the knowledge. I typically I'm on my black job when you are actually on live unless it's the evening time, and then this is what we do in the evening time. So I don't think I've been on your panel in months, but I'm always stopping in and listening and knowing that you still at it. And I tip my hat to you. I have some
Thank you.
questions, but I'm gonna let Miss Morningstar go ahead and go on and go because I don't know
We
how
can
you
go
do it.
back and forth. So
Okay.
my first question for you is, how did TikTok come about for you?
COVID.
COVID. That's a lot of people. Yeah.
COVID.
Yeah.
Before COVID, I barely did Facebook. I still don't do Instagram, and social media is never where I thought I'd be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But here I am.
I agree. I mean, and I was a Facebook, but because mine was more so for my business. It wasn't,
Hmm.
Mhm.
and plus I'm from a different state, so that's how I communicated with my family, but not for anything political. Never was
No,
a political junkie.
not like now.
No.
I've always been one.
Have you?
Going on with my cousin's
It
cousins. You
shows.
know how our families go. Uh, and we were going back and forth for about 2, 3 years on Facebook about this Trump administration before it was the first administration and then the election. And then I fell into
So when you were talking to your cousins, is it still to this day? Are you still in the battle with your family members in regards to
I can't hear you. I don't
you
know.
came here? Itchy, let me ask you, are you on a tablet or are you on your phone?
Jesus, is it me?
Yes, it's you.
Maybe it's me.
Yeah, go ahead and take your earbuds out because if you're using earbuds or a mic, it pretty much messes you up. So go ahead and um, I would, if I were you, I wouldn't use earbuds. Earbuds is gonna, it's delayed. It delays
I
you.
think it might have been my other headphone. Is that what it is?
Yeah, because
Yeah,
now I can hear you better.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, that's
So
what it was. And it was my other headphone.
okay, so let me ask you again, how are things with you and your family now? Are they still on the side of Trump or have they woken up to realize that they've been bamboozled?
If you're referring to my oldest son, we had an incident when we were come right around COVID time, and they all came home from school. My oldest son was probably in his junior year of college. My baby was in his freshman year. Both of them were athletes, and my oldest was in between schools because he was transferring, so he wasn't active, and he was home. And I think it was somewhat by the grace of God that he was home, cause um, that time I got to spend with him, the extra time I got to spend with him, I found out that like a lot of other kids, he had a really bad algorithm. Um,
Yeah.
the things that we sat and talked about, it worried me because it was on the realm of almost Jewish. You know what I'm saying? Because my son is real spiritual. So
Mm.
doing his spiritual journeys and searching into this, these things lead one thing leads to another, and um, somehow my oldest boy at that time he was probably 21, 21, right around 21, 22. Um, he actually thought that Joe Biden was like a demonic and all this, and I'm like, bro, you don't come from a place like that. How did you? And it's the algorithms. That's when I really got big on um, telling parents, especially our age and got kids that's in
Hmm.
college and not in our sight all the time, and even the ones that
Hmm.
live in our house that we don't pay attention to. What? Check your children's phones.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
They reached out to these kids through social media in a way that we'll never even imagine. It was through the video games. It was through the podcast. We didn't even know it.
And they was lying to him the entire time. And now,
Wow.
you got to think about it. It took, that was what, 10 years ago, where they were feeding misinformation to our youth. Okay. So what's happened in those 10 years? We've listened to misinformation, disinformation, but now that big, beautiful bill is going to directly affect those. I mean, you think about it. Who are the ones who are they are just like Miss Morningstar said, they're just getting out of school. They're just, trying to forge their way out here. They're not making $100,000 like, most of us. They're not making upwards of over $80,000. No,
Not coming in the door.
no, not
Yeah.
coming in the door. So who's going to be specifically affected by these taxes? Is going to be those ones that they fed all those lies to.
Hmm.
I
It's
mean,
just,
truth be told, if they don't get a hold on Donald Trump, it's not going to only be the children that's entering the market. It's going to be us.
It is.
Feudalism is on the horizon, and people don't even remember what it felt like when when we only bought American. And I'm not saying that that was a bad thing, but the incorporation of being able to buy internationally has made things affordable for people who couldn't
Mm-hmm.
afford things back then. I remember when your parents used to have to almost take a mortgage out, a second mortgage out on the house to get a vacuum cleaner.
Yeah.
I remember
It's
those days,
so
you know.
Remember
expensive.
how much a VCR used to cost
And a
Yes,
back in the
television.
day?
yes.
That was a luxury. If you got a
Yeah.
VCR, people thought you had money.
Money.
Now
Mm-hmm.
everybody got PlayStation and DVDs, and you know everybody got an iPhone. They don't remember what it felt like to have everything made in America. And if everything starts being made in America again, no matter how good it sounds, it's going to be the start of feudalism again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're right. And it's for whatever reason, that's what they want. It to me, it's the destruction of America. Let's just call it what it is. There is nothing that has been put forth that will help a single American except the rich. There's nothing.
Exactly.
They haven't put forth any bill, not well, they're not putting forth bills, any executive order that's going to help not a single soul here.
But
You're
we
giving
won. We won.
Yeah,
yeah, what does that even
that's
mean? What
that's
did
the
you win?
that's the slogan.
What did you win? Since you won so much, please explain it to us. What did you win? I would like to know. You won what? You won the right
Kitty,
to
I
bring
hear
your
them,
grandmother
and
home?
this is no cap. Like I listen because even though I'm working during the morning, you know, I'm in my office, so I'm able to hit my earbud in, or even just play it loud because I'm in my office and
Yeah.
I'm listening to Itchy and the crew. They battling these people day in day out, just talking to them. And that's the slogan. We won, or you know, y'all lost. They treat it as if we in an NFL game or a
But
basketball game of some
I
sort.
need y'all to ask, and
And
I need y'all to just everybody be quiet. Sir, explain to us exactly what you want.
they don't know. They think that we are in a game. And I
It's
honestly want to
sad.
ask, like Itchy, you talk to a lot of these people. What is your psycho your psychoanalysis of these people?
Yeah,
I
go ahead
mean,
and
I
break it
just want
down,
to
Itchy.
I want your thoughts of these people that you talk to because I already have my interpretation and I can't say use those words on the radio.
You already
But
know what I feel.
I think it's a mixture of a couple of different things. I think that what we're experiencing is the backlash of probably the weakest generation of white men this country's ever produced. It's the first generation that's ever been told no. Um, Combine that with probably the freest generation of black men this country's ever seen that have spent the last 30 or 40 years not participating, and now all of a sudden they want participation trophies. Um, if I had to describe what's going on right now, I know that MAGA is the very definition of what the Confederacy is, unvarnished. Um, the scariest thing about this time right now, if I had to pinpoint something that actually absolutely scares me, and this is black for a second. I'm not even this not the thing that scares me the most right now is the disconnect between us and our children.
Yeah.
yeah.
And it's scary because we grew up, we raised our kids, and we raised our kids to listen to us. And then they became young adults and they started listening to others. And it's like you're going to throw everything that I taught you out the window and listen to people who don't have your best interests at heart, who truly are for white supremacy.
And I
And
think
and
Kitty,
it's going to be too late by the time they realize it. And this is the find out stage now.
and I
A
think for the
little late.
kid, I think for them, because this discussion has been ongoing today, in a sense, you know, when it comes to the younger generation and how they interpret things and how they've had to interpret things as they grew up much different from
Yes.
how a lot of us may have grown up, you know. there was a time we grew up, wasn't no being in the house on the phone. We was outside, or we was
get outside.
We was doing different stuff. We wasn't, now it's a lot of technology. It's a lot of, like Itchy said, algorithms. Folks is watching stuff on the internet. They picking up things, and not that they forgot what they were taught, but it can misconstrue their thought process, because a lot of them didn't go through the racism in a sense. Like, it might have been overlooked. Like, it might have been in the windows. Like, I noticed some things happen when we moved to Texas with my daughter that she probably noticed but didn't notice or fully understand what it was, because when we first moved here, we moved in a real white suburban neighborhood where there was racism, blunt racism happening, and we moved after a year. But I think they just overlooked a lot, and now they're passive about some things.
Yeah.
Some of them.
I don't, if I may, I don't even really think it's so much that they overlooked a lot. I think that we achieved so much that we didn't tell them.
That's
We've allowed them to be in the room. You know how Muhammad Ali said a famous quote one time. He said, "If there's 1,000 snakes outside my door, and 500 of those snakes are poisonous and 500 of them are not, what is it? What's the best thing for me to do? Sort the snakes out, or let them all in my house?" You know what I'm saying?
right.
So the problem that we had a whole bunch of what we consider to be non-poisonous snakes, and we've allowed our children to play with snakes so long
To
that they
socialize.
don't even identify poisonous snakes because we've never taught them that. So we can see
You're
the
right.
poisonous snakes, we can see the rattle, we can see the diamonds, we can see the diamond shaped head. We know what a poisonous snake looks like. But because we've been around so many that weren't poisonous and or might have looked poisonous and it wasn't, we've allowed our children not to know what poisonous snakes look
I agree with that 1,000%. Itchy, let me ask you, and I know we're going to touch on this subject in June, especially around Juneteenth. Would If you had your choice, would you have segregated or would you have stayed separate?
Integrated.
Integrated or stay separate? I do it every time.
I know you do.
Y'all know what I mean. Come on, Itchy. Come on.
like. I'm a separatist. I don't think that at heart I'm a separatist. Um I don't think that we were safe, and I don't think that we would have gotten the civility that we grew up with, our generation grew up with, had we stayed segregated. I think separation and segregation are two different things.
Mm-hmm.
The best thing that we can do in this moment right now, this is just my opinion, is separate ourselves in plain sight, if that makes sense.
Makes perfect
Um,
sense to me.
the only thing that I think that the best thing that I think that we could do right now is educate our own children, because one of
Mm-hmm.
the biggest mistakes, I don't think integration is the problem that we faced. I think that allowing our enemies to teach our youth was the biggest problem that we've ever
There you go.
had, because that's what we're living through now. It would have been
Mm-hmm.
fine to integrate if we would have stayed to educating our own children, if we would have
Kept
had
our
the
Yeah.
schools.
opportunity. Yes, yes.
And
I
I
agree.
think education is the key.
I agree.
a lot of people, in my opinion, a lot of people blurred the lines because church was our first teacher. You know, um, we started going to church with our parents from birth, and once we integrated even in the church house, it started changing our church house. Now, hear me out. A lot of people are going to say, oh, no, no, no. You got to think about it. Where did these big box churches come from? Where did these mega churches come from? Before we had our deacons, we had our small churches, we had, the mother of the church, we had small churches, and then we started these large, let's get the mega churches. And then that actually was the setup. And then we started letting our kids started integrating, and they started going to school with others. And in those textbooks, they're not written by us, Daughters of Confederacy. They wrote those textbooks, and those textbooks taught our kids what they wanted us to know. And it all started with that white man's Bible. And a lot of people may not agree. That's my stance.
I think that we lost focus on what church was. I think that we stepped into the religion part aspect of it way more than what the tool was used for. I think that we used the church, and especially when we were introduced to the church, we used the church as a tool to not only get messages out,
Yeah.
plans. It was again hiding in plain sight. It was the only place that you could deliver a message to masses, right under master's nose or right up
Yeah.
under the overseer's nose. I think that we stopped using the church as the tool that it was designed, well, that we used it for,
Mm-hmm.
and started getting too much into the religious aspect of it, which has led us to uh, preaching,
Yeah.
prosperity preaching.
Prosperity.
And I
And
think a
feel
lot
good.
of us lost sight. Well, if we go all the way back, if you take it all the way back of what we've learned today, of original religion, of the beliefs of our ancestors, that was lost in so many ways. Not all of it, but
Enough of it.
because when Christianity, and we can get deep into it, but I know we're not gonna be. We got to take a break. But
Gotta take a break.
Christianity was taught to our ancestors, and they were made to believe that book
versus what they
originally came from
yeah.
learning. Which was a
But one of the
whole
things that we're missing, if I can say before we get to this break, is that unity. We're missing that place to gather. We're missing that place to fellowship. We have to find, if not a church, some church, something where we can all come together. Like that's what we're missing is community.
community.
Yes.
That's
Community
what we're here for. Community.
That's why we grow so fast on TikTok.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's community uh versus the financial gain. I think
Right.
that is what turns off most people is
Mm-hmm.
instead of seeing it as a community, a place where we can all go and grow like our ancestors, like our parents, like our grandparents. We now see it as I go back to the mega churches. It's all about the money grab, and that turns, I know it turns me off. I don't
It
know
turned a
about,
lot of people off. Let's take a break, Kitty.
yeah, let's go ahead and take a
Getting
break.
into the
You are listening to Our Plugs, the community connection on WKRA 92.7 The Change. We'll be right back.
Be right back.
Commercial break.
And I'd like you to do one more thing for me. Hold up two fingers. This is you, and this is me, and the space that exists between us should be filled with value.
Equal, a global human.
Yo, good morning, guys.
Hello, fellow taxpayers. I'm Andre Martinez, and as the founding owner of EA Tax Pros, I can honestly tell you that our clients trust our team of highly skilled and experienced accountants. Why? Because we work with a passion to keep your money in your pockets, and we keep filing taxes simple, regardless of any situation. And let's be honest, taxes are not everyone's favorite. That's why, as a multi service accounting firm, our professional accountants have a deep understanding in all areas of accounting, and as well as tax planning, preparation, and resolving your tax issues. We lead the way of effectively utilizing the tax regulations and IRS codes to help our clients clearly identify the path of their personal, nonprofit, and business goals. So, if you don't know how to start your business or your nonprofit, we welcome you to the EA Tax Pros team, and you will have access to our enrolled agents who have earned the highest certification of the IRS, as well as CPAs, certified acceptance agents, and QuickBooks certified pro advisors. So give us a call, 713-496-0262. Or you can visit us at ea-taxpros.com. So come join the team that taxpayers trust. Also, don't forget to check out ourplugs.com, a community built with culture.
Hi, everyone. My name is Ashley Middleton, life and executive leadership coach and owner of Radiate Coaching and Development.
Yo, good morning, guys.
Hi, everyone. My name is Ashley Middleton, life and executive leadership coach and owner of Radiate Coaching and Development, where we provide transformational, strength-based coaching and mentorship. My goal specifically is to support you in identifying your mission, your vision, and your values that help you take your power back as you are building your career. Whether it's within or outside of the corporate world, my goal is to really empower you in making decisions that work well for you. So if you want to reach out to me, by all means, you can email me at radiate@midspiration.com or check out my website at radiatecoaching.com.
And we are back. You are listening to Our Plugs, the community connection on WKRA 92.7 The Change. We have our guest here. His name is Anthony. We call him Itchy Banks from TikTok. He's our TikTok brother, and he's here with just giving us knowledge on what he feels and how he sees things going when he's working in those political let's say arenas, realms.
It is an arena.
It's an arena if you think about it.
The gloves come off a little bit.
Yeah, they do. As Zeus would say, gloves come off. Itchy. So
demon.
I know that you are still dealing with MAGA demons, and what keeps you motivated to still talk to them? Because I'm just gonna be honest with you, Itchy, I don't talk to them. I can't do it. I can't do it.
If something's left to fester, it just gets worse. It's a social media platform where you get to meet different people in different places that have a lot of the same ideas. So I think that those ideas need to be not put out front. I think they need to be spoken about. I think people need to talk about where they are politically, because never before in our lifetime have we ever seen people so excited to vote. And it just, with the energy that MAGA has, force has to be met with force.
Okay, that's a way to look at it. I tip my hat to you.
I tip my hat to all of them.
All of
that
them.
is
it's
mentally exhausting.
Yeah,
it's mentally exhausting when you have to talk to these people daily and you have to repeat the same information and they just don't get it, or they just refuse to receive it. That's what it is.
That's a lot of those too.
They refuse to receive it because they are not voting for their best interest. They're voting for hatred.
Yeah. And
I,
what boggles my mind is how they don't see that,
They see it.
especially
They see it,
black
Kitty.
men.
I don't believe they don't see it.
they see it. Cruelty was the intention.
Mm-hmm.
If you boil every MAGA supporter down to its base, every one of them voted for the cruelty of somebody else, whether it was the cruelty of migrants, the cruelty of black and brown people, the cruelty against women, the cruelty against the LGBTQ community. Every one of them didn't vote for anything for America. They voted for everything against somebody in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
You voted against someone. I have
Hatred.
a young lady, the one whose son is in Colorado, and he's facing 21 years or 23 years in prison, and she was straight MAGA, 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 and somebody did a stitch, and I put a comment out there. I voted for your son, and you voted against him. And, I've got thousands of likes, and she's upset, but baby, you voted against your own son. You voted, you were so busy. I think people get in their minds that they need to tell other people what they need to do, not realizing that if you mind your business, I mind my business, we all good. But if you feel like your business is minding my business and telling me what to do, there's the problem.
I
There's the
tell
problem.
people all the time, it's 24 hours in a day. I spend 21 of them minding my business and three of them staying out of yours.
That
That's it.
part.
You
And
know?
they have the ideal that, and a lot of the rooms that we're in, and I'm gonna just say that because I follow the rooms of my people,
Yeah.
and typically we're in there, but they come find us. We
Yes.
don't go find them.
They
They
come
come
seek us
find
out.
us, and they want to impose their views and their thoughts to try to tell us how we should be or how we can fix our community. And I think that's one of the things that aggravates me the most, because we, like today, and I want to ask this, like, your thoughts on this whole Trump commuting federal life sentence for Larry Hoover. What do you feel the motive is? Because I know what I feel the motive is, and I'm pretty sure I'm correct in what his motive was. But I want to hear what you, because I've heard a lot of different people today, and I've even heard a few people get into little heated arguments about it. But what do you think, Itchy?
I'm glad you asked me what I thought his motive was and not what I think about the situation. I
Mm-hmm.
think that his motive is the same motives of that they used when they shipped those migrants to those black cities where those black mayors are. I think that it's a way to divide black people. I think that it's a way to put a rift in our community, an unnecessary rift. I think that they're trying to win Chicago, and with all the rhetoric you've heard coming from citizens of Chicago and those type places about all the migrants and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they're making a push. They're making a push for Illinois, making a hard
Yeah.
push.
Yeah.
Young, what is the other young man? Young NBA. What is
NBA young
NBA
boy.
young boy.
NBA young? I don't know his name.
I mean, he's up on what was it? Weapons charges. I mean, you're why are you I would think that you pardon someone because there's evidence that shows that they may have not committed a crime, not pardoning them because somebody done paid you two, three, $4 million.
Because I think he drank that one. I believe he had to pay.
Oh yes.
I, it's it's funny because he ain't have a 22, 23 months or something like that. But um, if you look at the people that he surrounded himself with, or the people that he's pardoned or given clemency to, um, like you said, all of them, most of them, I would say 90% of them, aren't the people that we would have asked for, aren't
No.
the
Right.
people that we would have suggested get that leniency. Um, And I think that Trump is doing this because, and I'm not going to try to, I think he's building a secret military myself. Me personally, all the people that I've seen them pardon and get out of prison are the type of people that you could build some type of secret group like that with. Proud
Wow.
Boy. His first couple of what he let the 1,600. That's 1,600 people right there.
The Afrikaners that he brought over. I
I
mean,
mean, the 1,600, we
yeah,
don't know who those ICE agents are. Let's just call it there.
because one thing about Trump, we know he's a reality TV show host. He's not serious. He's not a serious person.
Can't be.
So he already know everything that he's doing is going to be challenged. It's going to be rebutted.
He knows.
It's going to be caught up in the courts. So that would make sense for him to be trying to build him a little small something, because he wants to bring back that January 6th situation.
He wants to declare martial
As
law.
much confusion as possible.
Martial law, so he can, and that's why we tell everyone that we can, don't go to marching, don't go do none of that. He wants to declare martial law so that he can stay in office. Plain and simple. And he knows that Black people aren't coming. He sees that we're not shopping at Target. We're holding our dollars. We're staying within our communities. We got our fans going. We're doing line dances. We're staying out the way, because this is not a problem that we created. Y'all created this monster.
And y'all got to fix this.
And he knows this. So
what I don't like,
hold on, sis. He's trying any and everything to get us up and out the door. And you partnering people, I don't know if you're trying to make us angry, are you trying to get a rise out of us? We're still not coming, Frumpy. Go ahead, sis. I'm sorry about that.
What I was gonna say is just what I don't like is he's attacking our kids in a sense with these younger people. You got these fools like Kanye, and now I don't know too many people care about Kanye West. But I heard Drake was involved in this whole Larry Hoover thing. I haven't read up on it, but this is, word on the street. Kids out. Yeah, it was him and Drake that petitioned for this. But the young NBA dude, NBA Young, whatever his name is, it's kids who like him.
Very influential. Very influential.
I mean, exactly. You give them a little crumbs.
All he's doing is getting them hyped up to say, oh yeah,
Trump gave stimmy checks and he let NBA young boy and Kodak Black go.
They don't think with logic. They don't think about, what's the repercussions of if we go ahead and keep him in office? Because remember, it was about them stimmies. It was about them stimmies for a while. We gonna get them stimmies again. You heard a lot of the young rappers, Sexy Red and stuff. He gonna drop them stimmies. I know people in the hood who came up. This is the thought process. So I don't like that part. But that's where we come in. Well, we got to continue to hammer it in their head. Like, come on, think about it.
Come on, I need you to think. I need you to think critically. If you're playing a game, you play your PlayStation, your PS5. If you're playing a game of chess, not checkers, you got to think about what's not this move, but what your next move is, and that next move. But if you're not equipped, and that's where the parents have to come in and say, oh yeah, he may have gave you a stimmy check, but he also increased your taxes. And food prices has also gone up, and gas is high as I don't know what. You have to help them think of, we have a microwave society. It's here and now. They don't think about the future. They want it here and now. What I can hold tangible in my hands right now. But we have to develop our kids to think past what they can hold in their hand right now. But where are you going to be in 5 years? Where are you going to be in 10 years? Are you going to be able to afford a house? Or are you going to have to keep living with your mama? Or are you going to have 3 and 4 roommates? It's developing their minds, because just because they're done with school doesn't mean that their minds are done developing, and it's up to the parents. I'm with you, Itchy. it's up to us to educate them, because God knows the education that they got. I'm just happy that most of them
And
count, hopefully.
I would say it's all of us too, not just the parents. It's
Yeah.
all of us. If we see some young people out here on the street, it's
Yes.
okay for us to talk to them. If they willing to listen, pull them under your wing, stretch your arm out. Itchy, you used to coach. Do you still coach? Can't hear you, Itchy.
Can't hear you. We got some.
My youngest left.
Yeah.
My youngest left for school in 2019. So I haven't coached since 2019. So what? About 5 years now.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
About 5, 6 years.
I mean,
It was
those are the
hard to
kind.
coach. It was hard to coach and chase both my boys playing collegiate ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet it was. DC made a great point. He said, you're getting a STEMI check. Meanwhile, he's cutting your grandma's Medicaid.
Yes.
And when grandma
Facts.
has to move back into the home with her daughter and her son-in-law, and now you got to come and help take care of grandma because she doesn't have Medicaid anymore, maybe you'll figure out that, oh, wait, that little $5,000 STEMI check wasn't worth all this. We need to
Mm-hmm.
think past the here and now. We've got these, and it's not just our kids that are microwave, they want it instantly. We've got some adults, some Gen X and some boomers who are just as lost as they are, because instead of taking the initiative and saying, I need to really unlearn my racism, unlearn the hate, unlearn the self-hate, because the next thing I want to talk about is all these Black men, and it's not all. Let me take that statement back. There are a specific group of Black men who are loving to bash Black women. And I'm just going to say it. Y'all need to leave us alone, because every time you bash a Black woman, you're talking about your mama. You ain't talking about us. You're talking about your mama. It has nothing to do with us. You're mad at your mother, and you need to work that out. You need to go to therapy, and you need to work that out, because we didn't do anything to you. Work it out. Go figure out why you're mad at your mama. Itchy, what's
What
your
do you
Uh,
think,
statement?
Itchy? What you think behind that? Because I think all I could think is little bitty Michael on TikTok, who's scared to tell his grandmama that him voted for Trump. Him scared to tell his grandmama.
Is he scared?
Yeah, he is. If he
I
not
know. I know
trolling,
this is a morning show, so I'm not gonna call Black or what I call them
yeah, I
normally on
No, you
TikTok.
can't
So
say it on the. No,
but I know what you're thinking.
it's like Zeus over here. We keep it clean.
I
yeah.
know what you're thinking though.
Yeah.
I've been saying for a while that I think Black men have taken an opportunity to try to legislate their way back into the head of household. I don't know if you've ever heard anybody else say that, but
I have.
I think I was the first person to say it. Because I see it. I see that a lot of Black men say things like, "Well, the Democratic Party ain't did nothing for me. Uh, women getting this." So, at the, and my response is, why aren't you yoking yourself to a Black woman? If the Black woman is ahead right now, if she's leading right now, why not get behind her and push her? Either way it go, we're winning. And it doesn't make sense to me that Black men actually want to pull Black women backwards. They would rather suffer a little bit to pull Black women backwards. What are you trying to put women in their place? It makes no sense to me, because um, we made decisions. Whether or not hurdles were put in our way and obstacles were put in our way, we still made conscious decisions. And I think that some of us and some people are resentful because, yeah, we paid for some books, yeah, we paid for some tuition, yeah, we paid for, a couple of things like that, but we also could have took the money that we called ourselves stacking and got the same education, but we
You better
we we didn't.
say that.
We
Bingo.
didn't.
Thank you.
So I say that because I can be honest. You know, I
Yeah,
I
and that's
lived it,
what we
so I
need.
can be honest about it.
But that's what we need. We need that honesty, and I thank you for that, because You know, stop, Black men. Stop bashing us.
It's a lot of jealousy.
Yes, and you're
It's a lot
showing
of
that.
jealousy going on.
And
But
I'm go ahead,
but
sis.
I'm just gonna say this. People, get on. I've heard it on TikTok shows. They say all these, but it's not all of them because
No,
there's
it's
more.
not
We
all.
got more good ones than we
Yes,
do
we do.
bad seeds, and that's real. It just seemed compiled because we're on this app. We just
Yes.
all kind of
And the
crunched into this
algorithm
app.
sends it to us. The
Right, and it
algorithm will
seemed
sift
like
those.
we getting a lot of knuckleheads, which we come across, but some of them don't even be for real. We found out about Kenneth, he didn't even
Yeah.
vote. So at the end of the day, I just want people to understand I don't ever bash my black
Oh
men. I love
no.
black men. I love my sisters. I love my brothers. But we do want to hold the ones accountable for the hurt
Yeah.
that they're causing the community because we are here for the community. We are here for community. I know a lot of people don't understand when we talk about community, we talking about gathering us together to help us be better. Like we think we're imitating our ancestors, and that's how I feel like we're imitating the strategy of our ancestors to bring
Yeah.
us together, to unify us first so we can be a better. We, like you said, we're gonna live amongst them, but we're going to make sure we are working towards a better us for our kids and for our grandkids for the
Absolutely.
future. Because our time is going to be thin. We ain't got that much, I'm not saying we going to be gone
I
tomorrow,
mean,
but
I got more days behind me than I do ahead. I'm gonna be a realist. I got more days behind me than I do ahead.
exactly.
So you're absolutely right, Mrs. Morningstar. We have got to look past um, the hurt, because it's hurtful to hear our Black men, some Black men, because I'm with you. I absolutely positively love my Black kings.
You see what my
And
husband
I
dropped on
see
there. That's my husband, by the way.
it's
Itchy.
Oh,
He
that's
finally
who that
listen.
is.
Yeah. He listen to TikTok all the time. He know about
I
Kenneth.
said
oh
that is
yeah.
crazy. That is crazy.
Kenneth W is finally y'all.
He
I can't
finally
deal
famous,
with Kenneth
y'all.
because I was listening to him yesterday and I was shocked that y'all were even having that conversation, because the conversation is so remedial with him. You didn't
But
vote.
when
You didn't
you
vote.
you know what I'm finding out, and it's these conversations, how I'm finding these things out. I'm finding out that a lot of the Black men that are on here, the older Black men, I'm finding out they didn't vote. What I'm finding out is that they pushed the message and those younger kids voted. That
Hmm.
18 to 25-year-old group, that group is the ones that actually voted. I'm finding out that a lot of these older Black men that push this message, a lot of them didn't vote. And I don't know if it was conscious. I don't know if it was laziness. I don't know what it was, but I'm finding out slowly but surely a lot of those Black men that push this blagger agenda, they didn't vote. It was the 18 to 25-year-olds that voted. And if that's the case, we have a lot of work to do, but it's not as desperate as we got to get on it now,
Oh yeah.
because they voted because of those checks.
Hmm.
They voted because of what they thought um, their perspective was, or perception of how good things was under Trump economy compared to Biden after vid. So we got to get on it now. But if what I'm thinking is true, I think a lot of those Black men, those older Black men, just did a bunch of this, and
A
those
lot of
young boys
talking.
got up and voted.
Yeah. And I agree with that. And unfortunately, this is the cause. This is, there's cause and effect. I mean, this is the effect. This is the fallout of it all. Now, Medicaid, food stamp. I mean, those are the tools that help the elderly and people who need it. And everyone's going to suffer. And we're at the mercy for the next. Hopefully, we can, flip everything in 2026 and go ahead and get them up out of there, impeach, whatever. But the taco gotta go. The taco gotta go.
And I still got to go. So still got to go see what that taco
Yeah, you
stuff
gotta
mean.
go see what
I'm
taco
still.
means. Got blocked by an old head blagger today. He was triggered about the word taco. That's from our brother on YouTube,
DC.
our listening audience out there on WKRA 92.7 The Change. We have interesting conversations like this. And Itchy, I want to say thank you. Thank you very much for coming. You are
It's
more
my honor.
welcome to come back anytime. Anytime. We would love to get you on the schedule. Anytime you have time, just get, a quick text and, hey, what y'all doing this week? What y'all talking about? I want to get on and talk about whatever. We got you. We got you. We
Absolutely.
appreciate you.
Yeah.
Any
It
last
was an
words?
honor.
Thank you. We appreciate that. And we've got 2 minutes to before the show ends. Any last words you'd like to say, Itchy, before we drop?
Okay. If I could say anything, 2026 is rolling up on us fast. We don't have a lot of time to do this. We have a lot of minds to change. We have a lot of hearts to change. I'm finding out today that these kids, these youth, the young people have a divorce your parents or ignore your parents move going on. There's a lot. Look into it, please. Y'all look into it. We got a lot of work to do. The freest generation this country's ever seen cannot continue to push us backwards. And I'm not blaming this on the children. I'm not blaming this on the children. I am telling everybody, and I'm forewarning everybody that the easiest way to get us in a situation where we can't get out of an apartheid situation is through the Supreme Court. He has the Supreme Court, he has the House, he has the Senate. By the grace of God, he's a bumbling idiot. By the grace of God, he's a bumbling idiot. If we don't do something and do it fast, he's not going to continue to miss. I thank
You're
you,
right.
ladies, for having me up here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thank you
Itchy.
so much, Itchy. Any last words this morning,
I
sir?
just want to thank my brother Itchy for coming through. We appreciate you so much. We support you 1,000%. So we gonna always be listening. Thank you, WKRA 92.7 The Change family outside. We appreciate y'all for listening to us. As always, chat. Y'all always show up and show out. Kitty, love you. Y'all have a good night.
Y'all
Good
have
morning.
a great morning. Thank you all for showing up. Itchy, don't drop. Thank you all for showing up and showing out. You have listened to Our Plugs, the Community Connection on WKRA 92.7 The Change. Have a wonderful weekend. We will be back on Monday. Hey, y'all. It's DJ Kitty.
And Miss Morningstar.
We are here from Our Plugs, the Community Connection, and we will be your new morning host on WKRA 92.7 The Change.
Yes, we will be broadcasting Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time.
We'll also be streaming on YouTube at Our Plugs LLC.
Be sure to tune in.
Hey, y'all.